Well, hello. Are you bluish? Are you blue? I'm blue. Yeah. Let's go blue, you. Hey, folks. Hi, I'm just having some fun. It's Matthew. I know. Turn it off, Matthew. Turn it off. Yes. Oh, look at that. Look at the album cover glowing. Isn't that cool? Hi, everybody. It's Matthew Street. Welcome to my channel. And yes, I'm back, folks. I am back for another edition of What If the Beatles' solo years were only EPs? Yes. What happened was, in my alternate universe, the Beatles broke up in spring of 1970. They were upset. They were depressed. They were down in the dumps. They were feeling bad. And they said, we got to put out new music. We're solo now. John, Paul, George, and Ringo separated, gone, done. But we've got to put out music. But we're not feeling confident enough to put out full albums. So we're just going to put out EPs. We're going to record music, take the best of the best, the cream of the crop, put it out there as an EP. And that's what they did in my alternate universe. So episode 1 was not too long ago, but I thought, hey, let's try an episode 2. What do you say? So we will start with Ringo Starr and his famous Good Night Vienna album from 1974. Now there was a lot riding on this for Ringo because he was coming off the back of his most successful commercial smash album of all time, the Ringo album from 1973. And he was worried. He was nervous. He had a batch of songs. He had a lot of great people like John Lennon, Elton John, Billy Preston, Jim Keltner, Klaus Vorman, Robbie Robertson, and Dr. John, among others, helping him on the songs to follow up the Ringo album. But darn it, he wasn't feeling confident. So he said, let's just put out an EP, guys. Let's put out a strong EP to follow the Ringo album. And that's what he did. So, to kick off Ringo's Good Night Vienna EP, he starts out with the song Good Night Vienna because it's such a great, rollicking, fabulous pop song written by John Lennon. John Lennon plays piano on it, and Ringo said, let's go. That's going to kick off my brand new EP, Good Night Vienna. And then the second song on side 1 was going to be the No-No song. Catchy, fun, original, humorous. The No-No song had to be on the Ringo Good Night Vienna EP. 2 songs on each side, piece of vinyl. And that's what he did. So we kicked it off with Good Night Vienna, and he finishes up side 1 with the No-No song. Flip it over, and he said, what are we going to put on side 2 to really drive this EP home? He put song 1 on side 2, Snookeroo, written by Elton and Bernie Taupin. Elton plays on it. It's a great rocker. It's poppy. It's melodic. It's fun. Snookeroo had to be on the Goodnight Vienna EP. And to finish off the EP, the final song, last song out of 2 on side 2, Ringo said, I'm going with Ooh-Wee, baby. Ooh-Wee. Because it's just a great, fun, melodic pop song and a great way to finish the EP. So we have on side 1, Goodnight Vienna and the No-No song. Side 2, Snookeroo and Ooh-Wee. And that is one heck of an EP, and you can put money on it, baby. Okay, let's move on to John Lennon. John Lennon was really unsure of himself coming after the Beatles breakup. And he had a batch of songs. He had a bunch of them. And he put out the Double Fantasy EP. All right, let's fantasize. But he liked it. It did well. He liked the Double Fantasy EP. But he said, it was a little soft. It was a little soft. I want to get back to being John Lennon. I want to get back to upbeat pop. I want to hit him hard. That Double Fantasy was just a little too light and fluffy for me. So John said, I'm going to do a little more of a rocky nature with my next album. But I don't want to put out a full album. So let's make it an EP, a really solid EP. So he put out the Milk and Honey EP. And what he did was he took the first song on side one, Nobody Told Me. What a commercial, fun, melodic song, rocker. What a way to kick off his Milk and Honey EP. Great. Second song, side one, he went with a reggae-tinged rock song called Borrowed Time. Second song on side one of the Milk and Honey EP. Flip it over, and no, he threw away all the 6 Yoko songs that were going to be on the Milk and Honey EP that were in contention for it. They kind of went pushed to the side for now, okay? Goodbye. So, side 2, track 1, I'm Stepping Out. What a great rocker from John. Fast-paced, upbeat, snappy, catches your attention, hooky, catchy as heck. You know what I'm talking about. Second song on side 2 to finish out this stellar Milk and Honey John Lennon EP is I Don't Wanna Face It. Wow, another great fast-paced song. So you're talking top to bottom on John Lennon's Milk and Honey EP from 1984. Fast-paced, upbeat, yes, it's alternate universe, fast-paced, up-paced, fast-paced, upbeat, but whatever it is, it's great. You gotta admit it. Nobody told me. Borrowed Time. I'm Stepping Out. I Don't Want to Face It. What an EP from John Lennon. Thank you. George Harrison. Wow, George Harrison was coming off, a pretty darn good hard act to follow. He has the music from his George Harrison album from 1979. All right, in my fantasy world, it's going to be an EP eventually. But let's say it was an album for now. He's coming off that album. It was so successful, so many great songs on it. And he says, I want to put out a new batch of songs, but I'm a little unsure about them. There's a few weak ones here. I'm a little nervous about some of the weaker tracks here. I'm going to put out an EP called Somewhere in England. Because I'm somewhere in England right now. And what he did was he said, I got a whole bunch of songs here. I got like 10, 11 songs here, but I'm not sure. Some of them a little sketchy. So let's do something cool with it. Let's get the 4 killer tracks, put them on an EP and put it out there, and it's going to sell a gazillion copies. And sure enough, he did. And he had people like Ray Cooper helping him, and Ringo, and Jim Keltner, and he had Herbie Flowers, and Willie Weeks was back, and Cory Brooker, and Al Cooper, and all these great musicians backing him, behind him, and George, guitar, vocals, everything. He's doing it all. And he comes out with this EP. And he says he pulls in Denny Lane and Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney to help on a song too. And he says, this is going to be great. It's going to be my best EP ever. And what he did, he kicks it off with Teardrops. Teardrops kicks off the EP. It's a fast, upbeat pop tune. Yes, it's synthesizer, keyboard-based, 80s sounding, but come on, it's melodic. It's a good start to this EP. It's of its time, Teardrops. But it's a great pop rock song. You've got to admit it. So that kicks off the EP. Second song on side 1 is All Those Years Ago. The big hit, tribute to a good friend who was lost. But instead of it being down and a downer in the dumps type thing, yeah, it's to a tribute to a friend, but it's positive. It's upbeat. It's feel good. It's got Paul, Linda, and Denny on it from Wings. It's great. It's fabulous. And that's a good way to finish side 1. Now we go to side 2 of the EP, and we start it with Baltimore Oriole. A smooth, bluesy, jazzy pop tune, melodic, beautiful, very soothing. What a great tune to kick off side 2 of this EP. And then finally, the second song on side 2 of George Harrison's Somewhere in England EP would be Unconsciousness Rules, baby. Unconsciousness Rules. It's a great upbeat pop tune. It has hooks. It's a fun song and a great way to finish out the George Harrison Somewhere in England EP from 1981. Take that to the bank, baby, and flip it over. All right, folks, now Paul McCartney. We got to do a Paul McCartney EP because Paul was nervous. He was so nervous after Band on the Run, and he knew he had to put out some good music, but he was a little nervous. Geez, Band on the Run did so well. What am I going to do now? I think I'll put out an EP. And that's what he did. He took and he got the idea of Venus and Mars. Women are like Mars, men are Venus, women are Mars, Venus. I don't know. Whatever it is. He said Venus and Mars. And it's going to be coming out in 1975, about a year and a half after Band on the Run or so. And what are we going to kick this EP off with? What's going to make it special? What's going to make it knock it into their heads that it's the greatest thing I ever did? Listen to What the Man Said kicks off side one, track one of the EP, Venus and Mars. Whoa! Pop perfection, if there ever was pop perfection on Listen to What the Man Said. What a great way to kick off the Venus and Mars EP. Then, track two. Let's change it up a little bit. Call Me Back Again. A bluesy rocker, a screamer, a la Oh Darling. Paul's voice is on fire. What a great way to finish up side one of the Paul McCartney Venus and Mars EP. Flip it over, baby. And we get to side two. First track. What should it be? Let's completely blow their minds with, we had the pop genius, so Listen to What the Man Said. We had that bluesy rocker, a screamer of, Call Me Back Again on side one. Side two opens up with You Gave Me the Answer. He totally mixes it up on side two. He takes from that When I'm 64 honey pie old-time music thing, or like they used to make fun of granny music. I don't consider it granny music. I consider it great music. And he does a happy, fun, melodic tune called You Gave Me the Answer to open up side two of his EP. And to finish it up, to blow their minds, we take the medley of Venus and Mars Rock Show. Side two, final track on this EP, Venus and Mars Rock Show, finish with a strong, strong rocker, leave them wanting more. And that would be a great McCartney EP, don't you think? That's it, folks. Episode 2 is done. I don't know. We'll see how episode 2 does. Episode 1 did okay. We'll see how episode 2 does. Maybe I'll do an episode 3, see how you feel about it. I just love getting pumped up about it. I know I'm hyper. I should take a couple of breaths and get my old, I wish I had an inhaler. Instead, I'll use the remote. Okay, I feel better. I'm calm. But folks, I'm so passionate about my music. I'm passionate about the music. Yes, I am. And the Beatles. And I love them and you. Thanks for being here. And I hope you'll come back for episode 3, maybe, if there is one. Bye-bye.